When the crowd got deadly silent, I knew something was very wrong.
My concern was being able to get him back to being able to function on a day-to-day basis.
My husband called me. He sounded devastated.
I just was like, wow, we've lost everything here.
When you get into that mode of dealing with an injured athlete, everything else just kind of blurs out, and you almost get tunnel vision in the sense that you don't even recognize the stands, the lights, the team. Your whole focus is on that injured athlete.
So Tim was being recruited by Harvard, Princeton, West Point, Holy Cross, UConn, Stonehill. So this season, there was a lot of pressure on him to do well.
It was a Friday night, early in the season, first game of the season, and the hopes were high for the team to have a successful season.
So I remember it was the beginning of the third quarter. We just came out at a halftime, wanted to start strong, and we had a pass play. I remember it. I was blocking my guy, and the next thing I know, I got hit, kind of blindsided on my left knee.
One of the team doctors was down on the field, and I'll never forget what he said. He said, "This is the worst knee injury I've ever seen."
As soon as I hit the ground, I knew it was bad and that everything I'd worked for up to that point could be gone.
When I got out to the field to Tim, he was in a lot of pain. He was distraught. He could barely form words in his mouth, and the only audible words he could get was "my knee, my knee."
So with Tim's injury, Eric texted me on the way to the hospital because of his concern about the type of injury. The importance of having an athletic trainer on the field at the time of these kinds of serious injuries is to be able to recognize how serious they are. Because there are some injuries that if they don't get picked up right away can lead to permanent injuries and permanent lifelong problems.
So the doctor comes in and she tells me I tore my ACL, PCL, MCL, meniscus, and broke part of my tibia. And I have no idea what any of that means or what the implications of that.
I have no idea what's going on. My wife doesn't. Tim is trying to sort this out, not just physically, but emotionally. And Eric was a steady, calming presence who insisted on staying late into the night until everything was settled. But we will never forget that.
People don't realize the amount of work and time and effort that these athletic trainers put in.
Eric went above and beyond. He was in the ER with me that night. He was there for my surgery.
I'm sitting out in the waiting room and I had my phone, and Eric would update with texts throughout the surgery. This is going on, and it was all positive. It was all, here's this, and I was able to relay that because Tim has family around the country.
I think Eric was definitely central in kind of helping all of us just realize that I was going to be okay. Whether that resulted in me even playing football at all, that I was going to be okay.
Tim's rehab was a long process towards the stages of him getting back to more functional activity. He'd be in here about 3 days a week, working on strength, working on different sports function movements, and watching him do that in this office almost every week, it was rewarding to see.
So I didn't end up at a D1 school. I ended up at Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine. It's a Division III school in the NESCAC conference, and I couldn't be happier there.
So the good news and bad news in this is that Tim did really well. He was able to go back to playing football and play at the collegiate level. I say the bad news because then I worry about him every time he goes back out there.
Even now, I'll send Eric a quick little text or a video of Tim at the college level saying, "Thank you, we appreciate it." And I can't say enough great things about the people at Safe Sports.
So one of the reasons that Tim did so well is that the care he received from the very beginning, from when that injury happened all the way through to the end of his rehab, was the extra help, input, and guidance that he got through his athletic trainer and what Eric did with Tim. I have no doubt that that significantly contributed to his ability to get back to the level that he did.
It was important for me to see the whole process through for Tim, being there to support him, from minute one to, surgery to the rehab process. It was important for me to just see him get the care he needed and to get back to playing as safely as possible.
Safe Sports and athletic trainers at Safe Sports do more than just, tape ankles and, give people ice for injuries and stuff like that. They're there every step of the way through injury rehab, through injury prevention, CPR, heat stroke information, so we understand all that. They're an invaluable resource for athletes, I think, and without them, we'd be far worse off.
I have 2 more sons who are going through the Bedford system and very active in athletics, and it feels really good to know that Eric is there and the Safe Sports Network is there.
Eric really, I think, helped our family in more ways than he knows. Yeah.
So I'm a college football player now, so it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feeling.